Greetings, y'all. It's your Enoch Peter Mata, and welcome back to another Golf Stories podcast. I'm, of course, joined here by PGA Tour caddy Derell Atten. Derell, what's up, man? Episode 12.
What? I still get excited and in awe of, like, we're here at episode 12. Just yesterday, again, I'll always say it at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I literally thought it was just, Hawaii. Just last month, but it's been plenty of months since then. So definitely excited. Episode 12. Let's get it. It was definitely a fun, exciting week, and let's dive right into it.
Yeah, it's rolled along quickly. Did you get any golf in this weekend?
I did. I played on Friday. I play at this place. If you guys follow my Instagram, NorCal Caddy, I play at Eagle Ridge a lot, and so that place, the greens are flush, and I played pretty well. Didn't score as we'll leave the score alone because it's still a little.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to talk about it, but I was able to fix some stuff at the range today. I spent about 3 hours there today and grinded it out. And there's a lot of things that I looked at video. I'm low key technical, so the ball right now is going where I want it to go, but I do not like my swing visually. So we'll keep plugging along. And then also playing Eagle Ridge, it was in perfect condition on Friday. Not only was it, weather, everything, and Monday, Tuesday, punch greens. So, it's that time of year. It's all good. But that's what's going on in our area. Everywhere is getting punched. So
yeah, the transition from the winter to the spring.
Yeah, that transition. And so it's not that, the idea is not as awful, to just practice and grind it out on the range. So it's all good.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Derell here is a range rat. I love actually seeing when you're hitting on the range on your Instagram. It looks good. I would imagine I'm not the only one that will say it looks good, but I know we're all our own worst enemy when we
are. I'm
swings.
I'm definitely like I can nitpick a lot of things about my swing that I absolutely hate and drives me crazy. But obviously on the course, when push comes to shove, you still got to score and do all that things, regardless of how, good, bad, or ugly your swing looks. So I need to get better at that.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, today I think I put in a good little session today. So we'll kind of see how it goes. I think my next potential playing is Thursday.
Yeah,
potentially. So with that being said, we'll see how that fares up. And obviously, I played golf. How'd your little outing go? Let's talk about that real quick before we also dive in.
Yeah, man. Had a little tournament this weekend at shout out to Webb Park. We call it Webble Beach.
Whoa.
It's not that nice, but it's more of a joke. I call it Webble Streets because out of bounds is the streets. So, but it was fun. It was about 55 guys in the field. Ended up finishing tied sixth with a pair of 73s.
Whoa!
One over each day.
Consistent.
Yeah,
to say the least.
It was one of my better as far as scores tournaments. I've won tournaments before. I'm not to toot my own horn. I have won tournaments before, but I haven't shot super, super low in those wins. This was actually one of those tournaments where 73 is pretty darn good scores to put down. And, I'm actually kind of the opposite of you, Derell. I would say I'm definitely a field player. I don't try to overanalyze too much on my swing. I will say my drive, I was smacking it pretty good, but it was going both ways. But I would say my recovery game was strong this weekend, and just barring a couple, brain fart 3 putts, and if I made a few more putts for birdie, I would have been right there. I ended up finishing tied six, like I said, 6 shots back of the winner who shot 74-66. So, I was right there in contention late. It was kind of nice to have that feeling again of like, oh, I have a chance if I can make some birdies. I had that feeling kind of in the middle of the back nine. I didn't make the birdies, but it's nice to have that feeling. So,
oh, dude, it's just it's exciting with all the with winter and everything. It's just exciting to get back out again. The weather just being out there, is amazing, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, that was a big thing too. Like in the past year or two that I've been starting to get back into competitive golf, for what the weather has just been god awful. And the course has just been completely wet. For once, like this weekend, I can't complain about the weather or the course condition because that was absolutely perfect. It was actually one of the best times. Old Webble Beach actually showed up, and it showed the crew put it in great shape. So the only person you can blame for the game is yourself there. So I'm actually glad that everything was ideal, other than not winning. But it was a really good time, honestly. Awesome. So I'm happy with the game, and hopefully can take it down the road with some more competitive tournaments going forth. I got the Louisiana Amateur. Shout out to that. Possibly, I'm going to try to qualify for that this summer. So that's the state of our games.
Yeah, I mean, so at least with my game, I always, we're always for the past couple of years, I've always tried to play, tournaments, and it's hard because you never know the schedule. Especially the past couple of years, there's no consistency. So, and also with me, I've always been working on something with the swing, and I think this year I've been finally more comfortable with a lot of like the direction I'm going in. So I obviously I tell myself this a lot of the times, but I think next year is really when I think I'll make my big return to amateur golf, at least do, 4 to 5 events, every qualifier, US Am, mid am, and then state opens, and state ams. And I think next year, really, I'm trying to, schedule abiding, because I remember when I was busier and had a consistent schedule, there was times where I'd be home for that week and I could play in those events, but I'd always tell myself like, hey, you're not really practicing because the week prior you're caddying. But there's a couple caddies that travel with their clubs. And so if that's the case next year for me, that's what I would do is I'd travel with my clubs, and whenever I get a chance, so I can still come back those weeks and still play, even if, I'm back home Sunday night or Monday morning, the tournaments start like Wednesday or Thursday, I can still compete. And so I think that I'm going to do a better part of that. And again, my game is definitely feeling a lot more comfortable, being honest with how far I'm going, hitting the yardages too. So I think that's huge. Even knowing with the pros, like you got to be honest, with your yardages. Not your pitching wedge does not go 150 because you hit it one time 150. I promise you, every time you don't, So I think
you got to get those stock yardages down.
So that's helped a lot for me.
Yeah.
So
no, I mean totally, and this game, we all know you have to put some time in to be good, and so it is tough when, like, for instance, you're traveling and then you have the tournament, days away. Is like, how do I feel ready? How am I going to actually put money down and feel comfortable with that?
Exactly. And that's always been my thing. And so that's always derailed me from joining. I think I it's up to me to, do my part. And like I said, travel with the clubs, which ultimately it's not that big of a deal. But, like I said, if you're really motivated, you'll do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to get the game ever ready. And speaking of ever ready games, let's talk about now the guys who do it for a living. As you can see, background, like last week was Austin Country Club, the site of the WGC Dell Match Play Championship. Derell, thoughts, questions, concerns? Scottie Scheffler is the winner. He's the number 1 player in the world. It's 3 out of 5. What in the world?
This guy, I think he was in that Sam Burns category in a sense of like, we knew he was going to be good. Like, obviously he just needed one win to break through, and all of a sudden all these wins are just left and right. So he's in that tier of this new age guys, this young breed that's, gotta, obviously, you just have to look at it like you're going to have to replace the, Dustin Johnsons and, all those guys, that, have rose to stardom, that, these is the new batch of, young players that are breaking through, which it's cool to see. It's basically like almost like a changing of the guard. I'm not saying, guys, Dustin's done by any means, but, those young guys that, like a Justin Rose and the Paul Casey's that, these are the stars of, that are incoming now. So it's definitely cool to seeing who those guys are. And obviously moving forward, we're going to see guys that we never think or thought of that's going to be stars that are going to be stars that are, that are out there playing right now, but are just slowly going to rise to that star type of player.
Yeah.
There's
like plenty of them in the field. I mean,
there's plenty of them in the field. Like, maybe not superstar, but there's going to be, Kisner's, I think 38, 39.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a Kisner, style type of player. That's, every style of player is going to rise. And I think we're seeing that, turn around or, move forward. Like, this new batch of guys coming in, which is cool to see.
Slowly but surely. And, Dustin isn't done. He was actually one of our picks to go far, and he did go far.
Yeah.
Top 4 pick. I mean, our other guys didn't. Middle of the pack again, but that's fine. I mean, it's a crapshoot. But yeah, Scottie Scheffler, man, I saw the graphic, but I kind of knew beforehand. That's probably the wildest ride to number 1 I've ever seen. I mean, David Duval, Tiger come to mind, but I mean, they did it
quickly.
100 weeks even.
Right.
He did it in I think 42 weeks or something like that, which is just remarkable. I mean, gosh, and Kevin Kisner played great, and he seems to own match play. He knows it, and he loves that course. But I mean, Scottie Scheffler just was a man on a mission. It's almost like kind of duh. Like Kevin Kisner lost and then won. Scottie Scheffler just lost last year and then won. I believe that there's several cases in this tournament for a reason. The loser, that comes in. So I had thought of that before making our picks last week, but obviously didn't call it quite yet. Anything else from the guys that stood out as far as the players that went far? I thought Richard Bland got to beat his group. I thought that was interesting.
I mean, one of the guys that I see up there, going to be up there consistently from an international side. It was cool to see Corey Connors.
Yeah,
I know we've spoken about him here and there, and I think he's just getting even more and more comfortable with his game. And, again, I speak very highly of Corey Connors because I've seen it in person one, and just the type of, ball striking Jesse that guy is just unreal. And so you give a guy like that a bunch of looks, he's definitely going to make, a bunch of them as well at some point. And so it was definitely cool to see him, do his thing and, get up there.
Yeah, no, I texted you, or we texted each other. It's like, finally he shows up. I know it's not the week we said it would, but we just know what he's capable of.
We're speaking of the right people. We just need to put him in the right weeks or the right slots.
A day late and $1 short, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's what that's us right now. So it's all good, but we're good.
Yeah, no, it's good to see him. He finished 3rd, and I'm sure that's going to carry on to he's probably going to make the President's Cup, and they're probably going to look at this specifically because of that. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was an interesting tournament. I know it gets some criticism for the format, and they've changed it, this and that. It's been a single elimination. That was interesting to me.
That was interesting. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, but I guess to the sponsors, they it sucks when, like, for instance, back in the day, Tiger get bounced in the 2nd round or something and then gets a weekend. But do you have any comments on that as far as you think the format is good? I personally find it to be fine. I like either one of them. I mean, it's honestly, I like both of them as well. But at the end of the day, the tournament chose this specific format, so you just have to roll with it. I think that's a lot of the things is you just got to roll with what you're given. Like same with the waves, right? Mm-hmm. Like we can complain about it as much as possible, but that's your wave. It's not like by you complaining, you're going to change the wave. And all of a sudden, you know what? We can swap you with, someone else that doesn't want their wave either. No, it's not going to happen like that. It's just the luck of the draw, really. I mean,
or you could be like, hey, I have a wedding that I have to attend to on Saturday. Could you put me late early? Just if I miss the cut, I have a chance to go or something. Yeah. Like, they're not going to accommodate to that. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure a lot of thought process has gone through the formats of this. I will say it's a lot of golf. I mean, if you like, Scottie Scheffler played 54 basically in those first 3 round robins, and then basically another 72 if you play all 18 each match. I mean, that's over 130. My math is on the under 27 holes.
It's a lot of golf.
Yeah, just crazy. So I mean, I'm sure Scottie Scheffler, I don't know if he's in the Valero field, but I'm sure he's taking a break.
I think he's. I did not. I mean, I didn't really look as deep, but I could see him taking a break and getting ready for that place in Georgia.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can try to get one of these and continue that hot streak.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the match play. Thought it was interesting. Brooks Koepka actually kind of showed up and he seemed like he was playing good. It was a good showing for him. Kevin Na, Will Zalatoris made some putts. Yeah, there was just a few interesting. Bryson came back and him and Thomas Peters had that interesting ruling thing, which was I've never seen before. Yeah. So a lot of different things went on. Of course, the course is still beautiful. I love the way they set it up, and it's always an interesting course to look at. So, any last thoughts on the match play?
It's nice. It's nice to have a match play once a year. It's cool to see, a different format, change it up. Same thing with Barracuda, like that Stableford format. Like it's good to change it up. So it's definitely love. This time of year is match play, and it's really nice to even see people make their brackets and just kind of see guys that you don't think that's going to go far, they go far, and vice versa. So I definitely like having once a year, seeing this thing. I mean, I'm up for twice a year, but for the most part, it's once a year, and I definitely look forward to that as well.
Absolutely, it's nice to mix it up, and match play is always cool. Our brackets were busted quickly. But I do love that aspect of it. That's the Dell WGC. It's our last WGC, the one and only, because the China one is right now still didn't go on last fall. But it's our one and only this season, WGC Dell Match play. How about we'll talk about the Corrales Puntacana Championship, the alternative field event, real quick. Did you catch any highlights on?
I actually did catch. I actually watched the last day.
Okay.
Fun fact: I've caddied for Chad Ramey once on the Corn Ferry Tour. So, we know each other, and like I said, I caddied for him once. It was in Knoxville, I think, 2018. Oh. So, 2018, he was still pretty raw, but at the same time, I knew he was going to be good. So for me, knowing a little bit more in depth of it all, it doesn't surprise me. Like he's definitely very driven, very, he does a lot of the right things. And so it's definitely cool to see him win. And it was, I felt for Ben Martin because I seen everything that happened on that hole. Chad Ramey pulled it left off the tee, and Ben Martin stripe show in the middle, very close, had some sort of wedge in, hits it pretty, and just misses it low. And like I said, you felt for him because I think he thought he made it. And so you feel for him. But again, these are good and bad of these opposite field events because those things can change your, career for the season. So like I said, for me, it was definitely cool to see Chad Ramey win, and wasn't a surprise to me because I've watched his game over the years and seeing it, just get better and better. Yeah. So he was the winner first. I think he's a rookie. He's the 16th start. Gets his first win. 29-year-old rookie. Ben Martin. I actually saw his press conference. I mean, he was emotional as you can be. I mean, over golf. I mean, just heartbroken basically because when you're playing so good and you're that close, how can you not be? So it was good seeing. I do remember Ben Martin from a few years back, and anyone that does follow pro golf knows that. I mean, it's when you get there like Ben Martin did, so kind of quickly, so smoothly, and then you kind of lose it in a sense, and you have to fight your way back. I mean, that's a really tough grind and journey, and I certainly feel for him. But I think he will be back. I mean, this is a good showing, and it's good to see him back. So, one of my best friends, we're caddying at this golf course that hosted the Fries. We club caddied there, and the week before was the Fries Open because Ben Martin won Vegas the week after. Okay. My buddy, they have a pro-am, and we're in that group, and he caddied literally for Ben Martin in the pro-am. And so the next week, Ben Martin wins Vegas, and he goes, "See, with all the tips that I gave him, he, so ever since then, I've always, low key followed Ben Martin's career, and my buddy follows his career. Yeah. So again, I was definitely rooting for him too. Like, like both, like I had no, money, or anything in it, but just to see, good guys like that. So it was cool to see, both of them do well. And again, Ben Martin, by finishing second, gets into this week at the Valero. So that's also a win-win for him. So
yeah, so he'll have more opportunities to get trending that next again. Win. Yeah. Yeah, shout out to him. Shout out Alex Smalley. I know I think he finished second too, or he was right up there.
I think he tied second because they were both at 16. Yeah, that's right.
He played good. Didn't lose it. Played good throughout.
Our guy shot 7 under on the last day.
It was 7 under. He really she's 7 under on the Devil's Elbow. Remember that's the nickname of that course.
Yeah, that is.
Our guys once again kind of middle of the pack. So Hith middle of the pack. Surprising enough, Sahith is playing this event too that we're about to talk about. I guess we'll start to transition to
Let's do it.
The Valero Texas Open. At Tpc San Antonio. Right behind me is the 16th hole. For those who don't know, which kind of replicates the 8th hole or 7th hole at Riviera. I think it's 8th hole at Riviera. Par 3 with the bunker in the middle of the green.
I think it might be 6.
6, excuse me. Yes. 6.
I think.
I'm going to go. I think it is 6. But it's got a bunker in the middle of the green. You don't see that too often. Derell, what do you know about TPC San Antonio?
San Antonio, again, another place that it's hard not to almost love every week because it's the PGA Tour. And the PGA Tour just doesn't go to bad places. So this is, I was supposed to go here this week with my guy, but he ended up withdrawing. So, I was looking forward to going to Valero. This place over the years has been, in my eyes, just okay. But then as I've gone there more and more, I'm like, you know what? This is one of the hidden gems of the PGA Tour that people don't realize. It's San Antonio is growing. It's a good place to be. I think there's always things to do. And, and for us caddies, great. Look at that hotel in the back. There's like a little water park,
beautiful.
For people to, us caddies have talked about it. It's definitely on the pricier side for that hotel. But we always talk about like one day we're going to stay there for the week and just enjoy ourselves. And, maybe bring, if they have family or bring somebody, because this is one of the events that you would say, like, it's good to bring somebody and just show them around. And again, San Antonio has things to do, Riverwalk. Yep. And this golf course is in very good shape. And again, the fact that where it's at on the schedule the week before the Masters, they want to have it as in good shape as possible. It's not going to be Houston. Remember, how Houston used to be the week before and they made it Augusta-like.
Yeah.
And I was lucky to when it was there to go and be Augusta-like, and it's very Augusta-like.
Yeah.
So Houston did a great job. And so Valero is trying to match that. Obviously you can't because of how the course is and tree line and that type of, but they do a very good job, creating as close as they can to, good conditions.
Yeah.
So So again, it's definitely a place that I'm, saddened to not be there, but next year and I'll be a fan and watch it very closely and see who gets, maybe somebody that's not in the Masters gets a ticket to go.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that'd be cool. It's always fun to watch. Yeah, you did bring up some memories. I kind of forgot that Houston was in this spot, and I have gone to Reds. I know you said I think they changed their name, but
Houston Golf Club
of Houston now. Yeah, that's a beautiful place, and it's very Augusta-like.
Yeah.
And that brought some memories back. But the Valero Texas Open, it seems like a very like low key kind of gem for sure. That you
it
just
is
described.
A low key gem. It's again, like I said, I feel like I almost say it every week that I love every week of golf, but this is definitely one that I'll circle that I like coming to. Yeah.
It's a longer course. It's above average. I say 7,400.
It plays firmer.
Okay.
So that, obviously it'll play closer to that length if it does rain, which it's capable of. I remember there was one year that it was raining pretty heavy and there was delays like crazy. So it's definitely capable of that.
Okay. What, in your estimation, what kind of player would be a good, or I guess what's your strategy on this course? You need a ball striker?
Yeah, it's this ball striking, it's desert-ish type,
Okay. Yeah.
A Scottie Scheffler, would definitely, eat here. Again, I don't think he's playing.
I think he's fed.
Yeah, like he's over 8. So he's, if you look at the guys that have won here, they're, pretty solid ball strikers, specifically with the irons.
Okay.
Specifically with the irons, they're getting close, and you got to drive it fairly well. Mm-hmm. When you look at a guy like, Corey Connors has won here, as a Monday qualifier.
Yeah.
Andrew Landry has won here. They're really good with the irons.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie Hoffman, really good with the irons.
Mm-hmm.
So a guy that hits a bunch of greens, ultimately hits a bunch of greens, has a bunch of looks.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't want to be like Kevin Na and get a 16 or something.
Yeah. So it goes to show you that hitting the fairways is still important.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously there's some holes that might be a little bit more forgiving, but hitting the fairways definitely is huge, but ultimately hitting greens.
Yeah. I feel like it's a place that it's feast or famine. Like if you're playing good, you can feast, but if you're like that slightly off, you can explode.
You can make a big number out of nowhere.
Yeah. But I generally like it. I mean, I actually remember looking at the old reviews of like courses that pros don't like on tour. And of course, Zurich happened to be up there, but this one also did. I was just curious if why that is. I guess because it's just that they can punish you for little things.
Little things, right? Yeah. Ultimately, I think it's very fair.
Mm-hmm.
It's very fair in my eyes, and again, a lot of holes, from what I remember, you don't need driver on. So I think that's where it gets tricky as well. So it's like, do you send driver and have an advantage because it makes birdie a lot more easier? Mm-hmm. Or do you hit the fairway wood and have a little bit longer, but at least you secure the fairway? So you gotta, you and your player are definitely making a bunch of those decisions.
Yeah, you have to be strategic.
Very strategic as well. On top of hitting it, like again, this event I think is just really a ball striker. It separates themselves fairly easily here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Looking at the past. Since I guess 2010-ish, the guys who consistently are there, Charlie Hoffman, Kevin Chappell, and Jordan Spieth, they're in multiple years where they're either second or a winner. So I guess that little transition to the picks.
Let's do this thing.
Doodles. I guess I'll start us off with the dark horse picks. Of course, down below, we're using the CBS odds. You can go in the link there. But a guy for my dark horse that I like, pretty off the wall choice, I'm going to go Kevin Tway.
Oh,
250 to 1. So he's a long shot.
I mean, he's a ball striker. So
he is a ball striker. And actually his putting stats are pretty decent this year too. So I like it. He's got a tied third here a few years back. I want to say like 2017-ish. Other than that, no other real logic behind it. I mean, it seems like all our picks have been going the opposite of logic. So I think Kevin Tway is the perfect off the wall choice to play well this week. So that's my dark horse. Derell, who's a long shot for you?
My long shot for me is, I'm a big, especially with Scottie Scheffler, just, riding this hot streak.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big proponent of Ben Martin this week. He's 200 to 1, I believe. Yep.
Back to back, kind of playing well.
And so, I think, he's very, in his, I wouldn't even say heyday because he's not very old, but, normally he's a very consistent type of player and, hits fairways and greens and, in my opinion, can putt. So I think he'll kind of take, from last week and, bring it to this week. So again, I'm very big on, guys that are playing well, riding this, streak.
Yeah. A little trend action. Yeah. Like, he is, I would say, very similar at Andrew Landry, kind of a plotter.
Yes.
Solid player.
Very plot. Yes. So. And so again, this, I've been in this group before and I've just kind of seen how he is and how he operates. He's very calm and, to see even that type of emotion on his press conference, it shows how much it really means to him.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this week just energizes him more to just, keep keep plodding away. So that's my dark horse this week.
I like it. Ride the hot hand.
Ride the hot
trend.
hand.
Let's do it. My contender pick is not a hot hand, and it's been covered a lot, and it's been asked a lot from me, doing a what happened to him. He's a popular player. Talking about another Oklahoma State guy, Mr. Ricky Fowler.
Oh.
I'm gonna do it, Derell.
Ooh, why not?
65-1. That's great odds for Ricky Fowler, especially if you know his talent. It's been made. Everyone knows about his struggles in the past 2-3 years now. But I don't know. Ricky's a player that can get hot and roll with it. And it, like I said, our picks this year have been going the opposite of our logic. So I would say choosing Ricky Fowler is probably not the logical choice going in. But you know what? I'm just going to do it off the wall again.
Ricky Fowler. You still can't deny Ricky Fowler and what he can do, and I would categorize this as, a desert style golf course, but with trees.
Yeah.
And so I think this golf course definitely, I like that pick. That definitely fits in his wheelhouse.
And you know what? His friend, Jordan Spieth, who everyone wanted to do a what happened to last year, won here as kind of his, defining redemption from, all the struggles. Right. So maybe that's the logic I need for Ricky to play well this week.
Okay. Yeah. I like that. My, it's, I don't think we've ever spoken of him yet this year, but I am going to go with my contender pick as this guy by the name of David Lipsky.
Oh, okay.
So he's kind of been trending, and, a lot of guys say he has an amazing short game.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't win on this side of the golf course. A couple years ago when they had a Corn Ferry event here, they had it on the other side.
Oh, okay.
Back-to-back weeks, and he won on the other side. So similar type of grass and very good short game. And again, similar to, a plotter. Yeah. And I'm going to just think, he hasn't been doing amazing this year, but I think, somewhere where he's comfortable and the type of grass.
Vibes, yeah.
So the vibe, I think that makes a difference. If you're excited to be somewhere, it's definitely, helpful. So I'm going with David Lipsky this week as my contender pick.
Right on. David Lipsky.
125-1.
125-1. Yes, exactly. We're gonna we're gonna try everything. It's pretty much like we need a win to get in the Masters to even be able to do a podcast for the Masters.
Exactly.
So hopefully we can break that streak. David Lipsky, solid player. I don't know too much about him, but I do know he's kind of that plotter type. And like we've talked about, Andrew Landry won here. He's a plotter type. Ben Martin, I'm sure is going to do well, and he's your pick. He's a plotter type. So I like the pick. For my winner, I'm going with a little bit more of a household. I guess Ricky Fowler is a household name, but I guess not as off the wall as my last two picks. Guy who's been playing well. He had a chance to really close out Bay Hill. Mr. Gary Woodland at 35-1. He's been playing well. He does have a top 10 here, I believe, last year. Tied 6, I think. I think he's playing well. I think his length and his ball striking is kind of back to where he wants it, as obviously a U.S. Open winner. And maybe he's learned something from that Bay Hill, how to better close. He knows how to close a major. So, it's just been a while, and we all get nervous. We're all not Tiger Woods, closing a tournament.
Right. It's hard. Winning golf tournaments is very, very hard.
Yeah.
Caddying with Hunter Mahan last year, we've talked about it. He's been lucky to have 6 of them.
Yeah.
6 wins, and he said every one of them wasn't easy. It's very hard to win golf tournaments.
Yeah, they don't give them away.
They don't hand them out. That's for
sure. Gary Woodland gonna be my winner pick this week. Who you got, Derell, for your dub?
So my winner this week, he's definitely been trending in a better light, and he's a local guy. He lives in San Antonio that I know of, and I think with relation to the players, a local guy won there. And so I'm going to kind of ride that wave-ish. So I'm going with Abraham Answer this week.
I knew it.
Abraham Answer, great short game. Again, plotter, knows the golf course very well. I don't know if he practices there, but he definitely has privileges there because it's TPC.
Yeah, good vibes. Yeah.
Definitely, knows where to miss, where to, do all that. And I think, he's been, he's a tough player, man.
Yeah, tough cookie, man. Yeah, he was my pick at Valspar. It happened to be the 1 week he missed the cut and the season.
Right.
But he played great at the match play. Shoot, being Morcal at 7-6, that's a player we didn't talk about last week.
Agreed. So I mean, I just think again the trend of hot, riding the wave. Like I'm a believer of that. So I Abraham Answer is a guy I like this
in
week.
his home state of Tejas, Texas, baby.
Correct, San Antonio.
He's 22-1. So he's one of the favorites for sure. And he's finally got that monkey off his back in Memphis last year. So again, we did say this earlier in the year. It feels like a year of adding to the total of your wins. So yeah, I like Abe Answer as a pick. So that's our 3 picks, or 6 picks total. Hopefully we can break the Schneike, the skid.
It's been rough, but we're still going strong. Hey, we're still going strong and keeping positive.
Yeah, we are. We're gonna keep going. We're not having been canceled yet, like we always say. So we're just gonna keep on going until something goes right, I guess.
All good.
Yeah. So that's our picks. Derell, you got any crazy stories about San Antonio or this tournament that you want to finish off with?
Nothing really too crazy that has stood out. But again, definitely sad that I'm not there this week. Love that place. Again, San Antonio has just become somewhere that I've definitely, loved over the years. Food's great. For me as a caddy, I'm very comfortable there. Okay. Flying in there and, do the logistics of that place and all is great.
Mm-hmm.
So those are little things, they're minor, but, you want to be comfortable during the week.
They help.
So that place is a place that, from a caddy standpoint, we're very comfortable. So for me missing out, it's tough, but I'll enjoy watching it, on the weekend and seeing these guys, try to, again, if you're not in the Master, try to punch a ticket to get into the Masters, because next week definitely is going to be an amazing week. But until then, let's enjoy this week.
Yeah. One of my picks, Ricky Fowler, I don't think is in the Masters. So
right.
Get in. It's actually, I think I looked it up. It's 1922 is when this tournament started. So I think this technically 100 year. So it's pretty.
This is the Texas Open.
I know. It's been kind of pushed around in the fall and kind of made lesser than other Texas tournament, but this is the Texas Open. So
this is the Texas Open. So that's a big deal in my eyes.
Yeah. I mean, I would say that's the craziest thing. Like you said, Corey Connors did win here as a Monday qualifier. Robert Gomez won here after, I think he had the longest time between PGA Tour wins, 15 years, from 1990 to 2005. So that's an interesting fact. But yeah, this tournament's, like you said, it's actually pretty legit. I mean,
it's legit. It's legit.
So next week is the Masters. How about we'll end this on this? We've heard word that Tiger is there practicing with Charlie and Justin Thomas. You think Tiger's playing?
So, I mean, this is just from just knowing what I know in general. I think he's going there to see if he can do the 4 days of, walking the elevation and, doing all that. Like, if you can't do it in a practice type of, scene or scenario, you're not going to do it in tournament time. Mm-hmm. So I think he's just trying to see if, he can be able to, the 3 days of practice rounds and then the 4 days of golf with just walking up and down those hills and on top of having to compete at a high level. So I think this is his test run.
Yeah.
So if his test run goes well and has enough rest and break, he'll definitely play.
Right.
But if it's at a point where he thinks he can't do any of that, then I don't think he will. That's my 2 cents of it all. Because again,
right,
the place is very undulating on top of trying to play good golf, fast greens, there's a lot of thinking, and physically it's demanding as well.
Yeah, mentally, physically, spiritually,
Yeah,
major,
everything.
Everything.
It's the spot,
Yeah, I mean, everyone would love him to play. I'm gonna go out and say he's playing. I'm gonna put it out in the airways.
I think it's definitely in the better percentage favor that he's doing what he's doing right now.
Yeah.
So that definitely helps.
Yeah. So we're just giddy. Everyone's just like, stay calm.
For sure.
Yeah. So that's going to be an exciting week. But like we did say, that this week is the Valero Texas Open, and we'll enjoy this first. So I don't got anything else, Derell.
I'm good to go. Let's enjoy this week, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, indeed. It was a fun one. I think one of our better ones. We were pretty smooth this one. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Audience, you know what to do. Let us know what your picks, what your thoughts, whatever it is that you have on your mind. Let us know. Like, comment, subscribe, whatever. Your words mean something to me.